Hey everyone, thanks for dropping by. SchollyLife, we got Yale Goldberg here from Cleveland, Ohio, one of the top seniors in the country for junior tennis. Next year he'll be attending Stanford. Yale, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Ross.
All right, so let's just kind of get into it a little bit about kind of your background, your history. How old were you when you started playing tennis?
Very young. I come from a tennis family. Both my parents played in college, and all three of my brothers have played. So from very early, I was holding a tennis racket.
Okay, and did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played a lot of soccer. Soccer and tennis were always my two main sports.
Okay, what age did you stop playing soccer?
I stopped playing soccer after the 8th grade season.
Okay.
So
And
14.
did you feel like soccer helped you a lot with tennis? Do you think that made you a better athlete?
Yeah, definitely. I think cross training is always a great thing with foot skills and footwork. I think a lot of that transitioned into my tennis game and helped me out a lot. And I also think it was good to not just focus on tennis from an early age because it's easy to get burned out in an individual sport like tennis.
And at what age did you realize you were pretty good and all right, I think I want to, try and play college tennis?
Well, it was always a goal of mine to play college tennis from the beginning. As I said, my parents both played college tennis, so I heard so much about their experiences, and they've said that it's the best 4 years of their lives, the best experiences of their lives came on with their tennis teams in college. And so I always had the goal in the back of my mind to become a D1 tennis player. So
Talk a little bit about high school. You go to a private school in Cleveland. Cleveland is not, the hotbed of junior tennis. I know a lot of kids are doing homeschooling and playing 5-6 hours a day. A lot of kids move away from cold weather to warmer weather, maybe to go to tennis academies. Talk a little bit about that. Did you ever think about moving? Did you ever think about doing homeschooling?
yeah, well, in 8th grade, after 8th grade soccer season, I moved to Florida for the second half of the year. I trained at Saviano Tennis Academy in Florida, and it was a great experience for me, and I got to see some other options for me going into high school. I think that 8th grade was the perfect time for me to, go away from Cleveland, see that homeschooling was an option, and see all the possibilities and how it could really help my tennis game. And I think it was a great experience for me, but from a social perspective and from an academic perspective, I think that going to traditional school was just a better option for me.
Okay. And what about all the families out there that say, well, you're in Cleveland, there's not a lot of players for you to practice with. You've probably been the best player in Cleveland for a long time. How did you adjust to that? How do you deal with that and still maintaining your, extremely high level?
Well, it has been tough at times to find good games in Cleveland, but you can always make the best of the situation. I used the ball machine a lot throughout my high school career. Luckily for me, up until I was a sophomore, I had my brother to play with, who was a great training partner for me. But you can always find ways around not having the best training partners or the best training possible. There's a lot you can do on your own off the court. There's also a lot you can do on the court by yourself. So I think that just making the most of your situation is what's important, and being comfortable where you are and feeling like you have the opportunity to succeed where you are.
I know you mentioned, you traveled a lot during high school. You would travel to play tournaments, and you would miss some school. You would travel down to Florida to train on breaks, and in the summer, did you ever feel like, hey, I'm sacrificing a lot between school and tennis. I don't really have much time to be with my friends or have a social life?
No, I think it's just really how you maximize your time and how you schedule what you have to get done. I had plenty of time to hang out with my friends, to do social things, and honestly, I thought that tennis was a pretty social experience in itself. You meet a lot of different people, you get to have a lot of great experiences. So I didn't dread the traveling at all. I enjoyed it a lot, and I enjoyed meeting new players and new people and new coaches. And I think that it's an experience that I'll always remember, and it's something that I never have regretted, and I'm glad I made the decision to travel around and to participate in all these tournaments and events.
At what age did you start to get recruited by colleges, and how do you feel you kind of handled the whole process?
I think my first, at least Division I letters came after the summer going into junior year, I think.
Okay.
And I knew what kind of tennis I wanted to play in college, and from very early my brother, he plays at Lehigh University, and so I went through the college recruiting process with him, and my parents got to experience the college recruiting process. So I think I really had a leg up going into it, and I knew what schools I really wanted to look at, what schools I wanted to learn more about, what coaches I wanted to interact with. So I had a clear vision going in, and I just tried to talk with as many coaches as I could and learn as much about the colleges as I could, and it worked out really well for me.
And did you find it stressful? Did you find it exciting? Was there anything that you didn't like about the process?
It was definitely very exciting. It's a very exciting time. You get to hear from a lot of coaches, get to hear all the great things that you have in your future, the great experiences that will come with college tennis. And at times it was a little stressful. I mean, I remember stressing out at a couple of tournaments. You're a little worried because it's an important time for you. It could determine your future. But you just have to take it one step at a time and just focus on the here and now, and everything will play out.
All right. And as far as in college at Stanford, do you have any goals for what you want to do while you're in college?
Well, I'm just looking to become a better tennis player and to work hard and to be a good teammate to all the other team members, and hopefully bring home some national championships.
All right, Yale. Really appreciate it. We'll get you out on that. Thank you so much for your time, your advice, and good luck. We'll be following you, and hopefully we'll catch back up with you after you win a national championship.
Thanks a lot, Ross. Thanks again for having me.
All right, bye, bud.